Welcome to my daily review, looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. My disclaimer is don't do as I say, do as you want to do what you're going to do anyway. So this video is for adults. So be big boys and girls and do your own due diligence. I just want to point out, today seemed pretty boring, pretty slow, orderly pullback, but it's constructive in the fact that it closes gap here from Thursday where it gapped higher. See the high there was 11,904, pulled back on Friday, and then today a little smaller orderly pullback, and it closed that gap at 11,843. So that's constructive, even though it seemed like, like watching paint dry today. Anyway, the Nasdaq, if you look at the weekly chart, which I like to do, you can see that the from the COVID levels, pre-COVID levels before this area here where it was limit down every day. But at the beginning of 2020, it was at 9,838. And at the end of 2022, it was 10,088. So basically got nowhere for 3 years. So now the market goes up 20% up to from 10,000 to 12,000, and people get all excited. Oh, it's overbought. It's too far, too fast, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. This actually is underperforming, your standard performance for 25 years or 50 years or however far you want to go back with the Nasdaq. It's going to be doing more than 20% in 3 years on average. So don't get too excited, just listen to what the market's saying every day. You can see the blue volume bar since January, which indicates that the institutions are buying into this market. And then on the down days, it's going down on lighter volume. That's what you want to see. Up days, big volume, the down days, lighter volume. So I know, you listen to the pundits that talk about a short cover rally, a bear market rally. Just take it day by day. Anyway, I don't trade indexes. I trade stocks, and Tesla's one that I like. Obviously, hit that low capitulation selling here on the chart. Then you can see the big blue bars. It's like a new rule. Tesla has to go up every day. It looks like it's going to challenge that 200 level, and we'll see. But Tesla looks good. Apple is one that reported earnings last week. Kind of had a surprise move there, and today just had an inside day. So Apple doing nothing wrong, doing what Apple usually does. Microsoft, I just point this out because they kind of drive the Nasdaq, and this is a Dow component. And so one other stock that I want to show on the the mega cap tech stocks, NVIDIA is doing okay as well. Of the mega cap tech stocks, obviously Meta had the earnings last week, gapped higher now, has had these back-to-back inside days. So that would appear to be bullish, pulling back on lighter volume, just like the stock market. So the mega cap techs are doing okay. I wanted to go to some of the semiconductors, because I don't think we can have a real true rally without the semiconductors playing along. And ON Semi reported this morning, wasn't a great report. They kind of guided weak, and it was a big volume, day today. It went higher. First it went lower, then it went higher, and it formed this engulfing candle here. So we'll see how this one plays out. I was actually surprised that it went higher after that report, because it really wasn't that strong. But a lot of stocks have been going up after a pretty weak report. So I think some of this weakness in the economy has been priced in. ALGM, this is another semiconductor manufacturing stock. This one, broke out, had been on a heck of a run, and today made a new high and just pulled back slightly. I know that, a lot of people are looking at this one and missed it and want to get in, but you just have to be patient here. I wouldn't chase that. Let it come. The moving averages come back. It's 8% above its 10 EMA. So let it cool down and let it come to you. AEHR is one of the, it's an equipment stock, a testing, and this one just pulled back to its 10 EMA and found support. That one looks good as well. ACLS is another one that just took off on us. And it pulled back with the market the last couple of days in lighter volume, and that's what you like to see, just a calm, orderly pullback. There's nothing wrong with that. The biotech sector, one of my faves, the drugs, NVO, They've got a couple, powerful drugs, and that made this big run. And then last week it pulled back to the 50. And I talked to the group here at MC Stock Charts. It was a gift. I know some people got in and traded this one, and congratulations. It was on buying the 50, the first pullback to the 50. It was a good play for people. TGTX is one that had the multiple sclerosis drug approved. They launched last week, actually, so we'll see if they can have a successful launch. Today it was down, and then it went up and had this bullish engulfing candle here, so we'll see. This one might be it's trading like it's a takeout target. It's like 15% above its 10 EMA. So maybe somebody knows something here that's really healthy stock. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals, this one traded in a base, tried to break out, then pulled back, sliced its 50, and now trying to run back above here. So we're going to watch this one closely. This one has the ability to move quickly. Talked about, stocks that move quickly because they have very little supply and it doesn't take much demand. Here's 48 million shares in the float. So it doesn't take much demand to push that thing higher. And that's what you look for is, in supply and demand. Those stocks that move slow have a lot of supply, and it takes a ton of demand to move them. Anyway, that's my TED Talk for today. Vertex. This one marches to the beat of its own drum. Looked like it was going to form a base, and then it had this shakeout, like a handle, slice below the 50, and they report earnings tomorrow. This one will probably come down to its 200, then rip to new highs. This one's nuts. Very difficult for me to trade. I think it's just best to just hold on to this one, because if you look at it over time, it's really, paid dividends for its long-term shareholders. Anyway, enough of the biotech. I'm going to go to the home builders. They're all doing the same thing, pulling back with the markets and lighter volume. That's what you want to see. Still, if you look at the weekly, this still looks pretty good here to me. This is Pulte Homes. Meritage looks the same. Pulling back and lighter volume, and that's what you want to see. You take a look at the weekly chart. Big consolidation here. So I don't think these are done. GRBK is another one that I kind of like here. This one looked like it wanted to break out, now pulled back in lighter volume. So the home builders still holding in okay. The beverage stocks were strong today. Celsius, this one sliced its 50 and now is trading below it. And I think that 50 might be resistance. We'll see if it can rip right through it, though. Hopefully. Monster, this one has been on our watch list here, and it's just wearing us out. It traded up, to the old high, 104.85, then sliced the 50. Now today it gets a little 1% move. It needs to do something. Let me see. What was the other one here? FMX. This is Latin America or a Mexican I don't know, drink. I really know nothing about it, but I like the chart. And it's in that same group here, and it's consolidated for a long time here, and kind of probably needs to here's your little handle coming down, shaking out all your weak hands. Maybe it'll come down to the 50. Earnings here in a couple weeks. So FMX, Fomento. Okay, that's enough for the drinks. I like shoes. I like the shoe stocks. And here's Crocs. This one formed a 3 weeks tight, and everybody's going, oh man, 3 weeks tight. What a great pattern. This one's going to rip. Nope. What did it do today? It sold right off, down like 4%. And then it rallied back, but still, it's just a trip to the 21. They report earnings on February 16th, so probably won't do anything until after we get the new data point from Crocs. ONON is another shoe company, the Roger Federer shoe company. This one pulled back in lighter volume. That's what you want to see. And that's what a lot of stocks have been doing in the last few days. They ran up hard. Now they pull back. So this one looks good. This is a stage one base here. So ONON is looking good. And the last one in the shoe department, I could show Boot, but I'm going to show Deckers because it pulled back to the 21. And I think that, it's been kind of trending higher along the 21. So Deckers looks good to me. And since I mentioned Boot, I better show the Boot. And this one had this big gain, now just forming a little shelf pattern here as the moving averages catch up. What else was I going to show? Oh, the oil and gas. I can't go without showing the oil and gas stocks. OII, the Field services just pulled back to the 10, found support. Tidewater pulled back, found support. Inside day today, that looks good. Some of the drillers look pretty good to me too. Valaris still, finding support, doing nothing wrong here. Some people like rig, they mentioned rig, and it's been moving last couple days, pulling back in lighter volume like the averages. So that's the way it goes. Some stocks that I like the setups, I like the stocks, give them some time. There's a Sanmina reported really strong earnings and then rallied through its 50 and now just kind of holding serve and pulling back in lighter volume, just like like you want to see. Uber, they report earnings this week, Wednesday, and this got to look at the weeklies here. This is forming this stage one base after this, months and months, a year and a half of selling, 2 years of selling. Now it's formed this base. You can see the RS line pointing higher. Would not be surprised to see that one break out. It broke above this downtrend line here recently, and I kind of like this one. It's got tremendous sales, and sales come before earnings, but we'll see. ELF, they reported last week, stellar quarter, it gapped higher. This is definitely a power earnings gap, then advanced on Friday and just pulled back on lighter volume today, which is what you want to see. IRDM, Iridium Communications, this one gapped higher, and now it's just forming this little shelf as the moving averages catch up, and that's what you want to see, this lighter volume here. PERI on networks, this one has just been trending higher, showing strength. And anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. We never give up.